this
Oh, that
chair.
one, yes, and you know that was
Oh,
really
oh,
helpful.
this chair.
I like that,
Straight
and
in
it's
the
good for your
thighs.
abs.
Let me
But
tell you.
not only that, it's really good for being able to get up and down.
It is.
So I just,
Because I did notice as I was getting older, that was a hard thing for me to do, to get up.
It was,
From a
your mind had
kneeling
a-
I was
it's
just
like-
2 or 3 people at Chatter the last time I went. They just kind of got near their chair and they just, and they had no control.
Can you show them how it's done?
Oh, hell no, no. No, I don't think it would be widely received, but I'm just saying, people aren't strong enough.
No,
They're
no,
not.
I know.
So-
And you don't realize how easy it is to lose that right to,
Exactly.
Quickly.
and that's
Yeah.
really a good way for getting up and down,
It is.
it's because you get your balance right,
I
get with 2 hands.
Yeah, and we don't realize, it also doesn't take that much to bring it back. I mean, you guys are doing it, a couple days a week and you're doing great. So, it doesn't have to be that big of a deal.
Well, I do it at home too, but I like
That's
doing it here too.
I know, doing it in groups is always easier. Go ahead and put your block on your feet. Press the feet up there. Oh, it's been what a week, hasn't it?
Yes.
Roll the shoulders back. Oh, bring the spine to the chair. Drop the hands in the lap, palms up. Just rest here for a moment. It has been a week. And it's probably not going to get better. We're going into the holidays, so everything's amped up in terms of how many commitments, how many monetary things, how many family things. Oh, it's exhausting. Makes you want to go home and get under the covers and not come out. See if it works. Go ahead and roll those shoulders back. Bring the chin up nice and tall. Nice big breath in through the lungs. Big cleansing breath. Feel that oxygen coming in. Let it out. Another big breath in. Let it out. Drop the hands down to the side. Let them just fall there. We spend so much time trying to control things, control our body, control things in our life. Let's see today, if we can just let go just a little bit more. Go ahead and bring the ears down to the right shoulder. Bring them up to the center, bring them down to the left shoulder. Back up to the center, drop that chin forward on the chest. Feel the stretch from the back of the ears all the way back into the shoulder blades. Inhale, bring the head around to the right ear over the right shoulder. Arms are still down, nice and loose. Drop the chin forward. Bring the chin around to the left ear over the left shoulder. And bring it up, face forward. With the neck erect, go ahead and turn the head to the right. Look back over the right shoulder. Notice if there's any little noises happening here, that's normal. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, around to the left. And back to center. Good. Go ahead and bring the hips up to the front of the chair. Move that block out of the way. Move your little blanket out of the way. For the time being, we're going to come back to this blanket. We're going to give ourselves some comfort today. It's Thursday. We're almost into the end of the week. We're almost into the holidays. It's time to take care of ourselves. Go ahead and roll those shoulders back. Bring the heels to the outside of the mat. Spine nice and tall. Bring the hands inside the opposite elbows, leading with the sternum, with the chest. We're going to come forward into a seated forward fold. Let the air out of your lungs as you come down. Drop those hands to the mat as you get to the bottom. Drop the top of the head to the mat. Go ahead and place the right palm on the mat under your face. We're going to swing that left arm up and over. Follow it with your gaze. Look out to that beautiful area outside if that's your side. Exhale, bring it down. Again, inhale, swing that left arm up towards the ceiling. Follow it with your eyes and bring it down. One more time, keeping that right palm on the ground, left palm comes up and overhead. See how far up you can come. Exhale it down. Drop both those shoulders towards the floor. Drop the top of the head. Now we're going to bring the left palm to the mat below you. Extend the right arm up and over. And maybe this is where you guys see out onto the bump ski. Go ahead and take advantage of that view where you're doing it. Inhale, bring the hand up and over. Exhale it down. One more time. Inhale, up and over. And bring it down. Good. Go ahead and bring both of the palms to the mat. Under your face. Drop the top of the head down. And very slowly, we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Roll the shoulders back. Bring the head up. Just like a flower, you're opening up here in the center. Go ahead and reach up with the left. Reach towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, reach up with the right. Exhale, bring it down. Continue to move back and forth, side to side, at your own pace. Really exaggerate your movement. So bring those fingers up tall, open that armpit area. Really straighten the spine when you come back to the center. Reach up with the right. Exhale down. Good. Go ahead and bring your fists out to the legs. We're going to do some strong stuff today. We're strong women in here. I love that about our group. There's no wimpy women in this group. So we're going to bring our fists out to the thighs. Go ahead and drop that right shoulder to the left knee. Exhale down. Inhale it back up. And exhale down. Inhale it back up. And exhale to the right. Again, those knees out nice and wide. Inhale as you come up. One more time towards the left, shoulders nice and back. Bring that left breast towards the right knee. Inhale it up. Good. Go ahead and roll the shoulders back a couple times, opening that up. If you need to move the neck a little bit more to create some space, please feel free to. Take a big inhale, bring the elbows up to goddess pose. This is one of our strongest poses as women. Beautiful. If you look at like the Thai folk history, the poses of women, it's beautiful what they do here with this pose. Go ahead and inhale, bring the shoulders and the elbows around to the right. Push your chest out, push your breath out to the right. Inhale back to the center. Pay attention to the knees because they want to move. Make sure they're staying out over the feet like we should. Exhale, turn to the left. And come back to center. Good breath. Again to the right. And back to center. And one more time to the left. And back to your center. Go ahead and drop that right hand inside the right knee. We're going to bring that left hand around. We're going to be kind to our shoulders today. Give them a little rest. Roll that left shoulder up so the heart is open here. I'm going to slide that right hand down all the way to the floor. Bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale and come back up to the center. Same thing, other side. We're going to bring the left hand to the inside of the left knee. Bring that right hand around. Notice again any difference in flexibility between the sides. I certainly do. This side is good for me. Roll that shoulder back as much as you can. Slide that hand down towards the floor. Bring your gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale and come all the way up. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring those knees together. Finger the feet. Tap them out. We're going to dig that left heel into the mat. Drop the right heel over, also in the mat. Bring the chest up nice and high, and the chin and ears, everything high here. And we're gonna come from the hips, coming forward with the chest. I don't know why they're going so fast out there. What are they doing? It's just the construction site, you guys. Go ahead and bring it down towards the front. Notice, if you're like me, you're probably gonna feel this in the left thigh, in the back. It's gonna really pull. Whenever you cross over like this, it's gonna create a little bit more of a stretch.
Get it on my hip.
Do you?
I feel it in my calves.
Yeah, breathe into it. Wherever it's talking to you, don't push it too much. Send your breath to that area. Send it some love. And when you're ready, come out of it just a bit, maybe an inch or two. Go ahead and deepen into the stretch. See if you can do a little bit more without discomfort. Go ahead and inhale, bring everything up. Torso upright, nice. Grab hold of the chair, switch the legs. Now the right leg is at the top. And are you guys noticing when you come to class, you guys have been coming a lot. Do you feel the same areas day to day, or are there different areas on different days? What happens? So is there always talking to you in the same spot?
Some of the moves, it's always the same spot. Some of the moves,
It changes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And we don't need to judge that. We just need to notice it because it depends on how much you walk. I know Shelley walks a lot, how much you work out, how much you do your gardening. It's going to change from day to day. And that's why we do this slowly, to just bring our attention to it. We don't have to judge it. Just notice, okay, my body's doing this today. That's all right. At least we're here. At least we're doing it. Go ahead and bring the hands down to the knees. Walk the fingers forward, stretch out. Now, hopefully the back of the right thigh. Drop the head down towards the knees. Nice big inhale. Exhale it out. Bring it down just a little bit further if you can. Inhale and come all the way up. Go ahead and roll those shoulders back. Bring the hands to the chair, bring the knees out to the side, bring the chest forward, nice and strong today. Okay, we're going to do a side dip on either side again. Bring the right hand inside the right knee, bring the left hand around the waist, open that chest up this time, really bring the heart forward. Bring it down. Inhale and come up. I like to do a lot of heart openers around the holidays because we're around people that push our buttons, our family, our loved ones, our friends. It can be lovely, but it also can be difficult. So we're going to open this up, bring some kindness to it, extend it to them. Hopefully get through this a little bit easier this year. Left hand to the inside of the left knee, right hand around behind you. Open the chest up, look up towards the ceiling. And inhale and come. And is it just me, or has it gotten more difficult in the last couple of years? Everybody's arguing on the internet. Everybody's fully in their camp with their opinions. And I don't think it needs to be that way. I think we can open, as yogis, we can open ourselves up. We can open our heart and receive. We don't have to believe it or accept it. We just can receive it and say, okay, that's your truth. Mine's different. You don't need to argue about it. Make the holidays a little easier for all of us. It's a challenge. We're going to go see family in Arizona this weekend. So I guess that's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking about this. Yeah. Bring those feet up.
you didn't mention that before. Oh,
Yeah. Long-term relatives that we don't always agree eye to eye on their philosophy. That's okay. I love them. They're good people. Bring the shoulders back, bring the chest forward. Imagine you're just moving from here. So this is the only joint you've got right now. The hips, yes. And we're just going to bring the chest forward towards those knees. If it gets to the point where it doesn't feel comfortable, stop. You don't have to win any races here. We're just going to the point where it feels good. Drop the hands down, drop the face down. Go ahead, inhale, bring it all back up. Good. I love the way you guys move so slowly. I tell my younger students they need to come watch you guys. because they want to rush through everything, and come out of every pose quickly. You guys do it with grace. I love it. I don't even have to talk to you about it.
It's not hard.
Moving
Moving
slowly, slow.
You know.
I think it's a beautiful thing, though. I think it's something we grow into. I do, because I see them rush through it, they're impatient and, yeah, it's not.
They don't get hurt from it, and we do.
Yeah.
So
That's.
That's true, but you guys are good about doing the modifications too. The young people want to, whatever the ultimate pose is, you know,
They
like if
wanna
you do
go
a
right.
side angle, they want to go all the way, even if it doesn't work for them, and you guys take care of yourself, and I really respect that. I've learned so much doing this. Okay, go ahead and bring that right leg up across the left.
Are we sitting back a little?
No, you still got your hips forward. Yeah, yeah. So make sure you're secure. But you want to have both the sits bones on the chin.
All of these exercises, like when we're going down and up, want to keep both.
Exactly.
On
You
the
want to
chair,
keep
okay.
both the hip bones on the chair. Yeah. And it's really hard. Sometimes you want to cheat and bring it up, but see if you can keep them both on the chair. Now, this feels a little tight for me today. I don't know how you guys feel. Go ahead and bring the right hand on top of the right knee and just push gently. This is not a big motion. We don't want to hurt ourselves, but if your hip's feeling tight, this is a good one just to open that joint up. Create some space in there. Bring the spine up nice and tall because we tend to want to collapse over it. Go ahead and roll the shoulders back. Push down on that knee. Good. Then go ahead and bring your hand around the outside, around to the foot, and they do call this rocking the baby here. We're just going to raise it up and rock it back and forth. Again, opening the hip. And extend it down to the ground. Notice how that feels on the side. And maybe do a little movement, pushing the flesh. Does it feel good? Is it opening it up? Hopefully. Go ahead and bring that left foot up. Take just a moment and notice, okay, how does this feel compared to the other side? For me, this is tighter. I don't know why. Go ahead and bring your left hand to the top of that knee. Push it out. Nice big space created in that big joint in our hip. It's one of the biggest joints in the body. Want to give it some love. Now be real gentle. Don't do too much. Make sure the spine stays nice and tall. Make sure the shoulder blades are completely forward because we sometimes want to tend to, you know, baby it and come down to the side. Make sure you're tall. Go ahead and bring your hand to the outside of the knee, the outside of the foot. Lift it up. Just give it a little rock back and forth. Gentle, a couple inches, not too much. Great. And go ahead and bring it down. I'm going to ask you guys to bring your hands up, stretch as far as you can towards the ceiling, reach, 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 reach. Bring the palms forward. Move the feet a little farther apart so they're like hip distance. We're going to come forward. Big exhale, bring the chest down, bring the hands out behind you, palms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, bring it all the way back up, hands up and tall. Again, big wave. Pushing with the chest, with the hands back towards the ceiling behind you. Inhale and back up. And one more time. Stop here for just a moment. Reach, reach, reach up towards the ceiling. Roll those shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale it forward. Bring the palms back, facing up towards the ceiling. And back up so the torso is nice and tall. Go ahead and bring those hands to the heart center. Bring the elbows out. Drop your chin. Bring the thumbs into the chest. Just check in with yourself here for a minute. We've been seated, but we've still been doing some big motions. So how do you feel? Is your heart rate a little higher? Is your breathing a little higher? Is your awareness maybe a little bit more in the present? I hope. Go ahead and exhale, drop the hands down, bring the chin up. We're going to come up to the top of our mat. So go ahead and stand and come towards the front. And we'll work towards a couple of sun salutations. We're not going to go into downward dog or anything too extreme today, but we're going to work through some sun salutations. So I want you to look down and have your feet about hip distance apart, maybe just a little bit past the hip bones. Make sure they're parallel, facing forward. Raise those toes up and spread them out. It always feels weird, but it gives you a little bit better balance. And then we're gonna come up, make sure the knees aren't locked. Sometimes we tend to lock them. Make sure they're kind of loose. We're gonna bring those pelvic bones under. So instead of back here like this, they're forward. Play with that for just a minute. See what that feels like. That's a good stretch the back. Yeah. See. Go gentle. Yeah, don't do too much. Bring it forward. Now we're gonna bring the hands out to the side, with the palms forward. We're gonna roll those shoulders back. So the spine is tall, chest is forward, chin is up. Inhale, reach out with the arms up. Bring your gaze up nice and high. Exhale, bring those hands to the heart. Inhale, forward fold. Send those hip bones back. Bring the chest down towards the ground. Hands towards the ground, top of the head towards the ground. Inhale, come to a half lift. This is one of the most important parts of this pose. So you want your back to be straight. So imagine that you've got a big yardstick on the back spine. Head is facing straight down towards the floor. Hands are just below the knees. Go ahead and exhale, drop it down again into a forward fold. Inhale, roll everything up nice and slow. Back to your mountain pose. When you get there, I invite you to push the heels down into the ground. Concentrate on being grounded here, on being rooted. So this is one of the poses that's the best for the root chakra that we worked on a couple of weeks ago. That red one down here where we have our security, our peace of mind, our safety. It's a really important one for this time of year. Go ahead and push those heels down. Again, inhale, send the hands out and over. Exhale, the hands to the heart. This time we're going to play with it a little bit. Inhale, bend the knees, bring the hands out to cactus arms, bring that chest forward, bring the chin up. And now dive the chest forward. Exhale into your forward fold. Drop the top of the head down. Go ahead and let the back of the knees get loose. Inhale up to a half lift. Nice straight spine with the yardstick on it again. Exhale back down, forward fold. And again, roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming up to your mountain pose. And surprisingly, this mountain pose and your Savasana at the end of practice are two of the most important poses you can do. They're two of the most simple, but they're also the ones that help keep us grounded. So this one, again, we're pushing down through the heels. We're feeling our connectedness to the earth. To being here in Albuquerque today with the cranes flying overhead and leaves changing, and just being right here where we are. Go ahead and inhale, send the hands out and up. Exhale the hands to the heart. Inhale, forward fold, leading with the heart towards your mat. Inhale, half lift, hands to the calves, back nice and straight. Exhale, forward fold. And again, bring the torso up, inhaling one vertebrae at a time. Ending with the shoulders coming back, the face opening up just like a flower. Good. Let's go ahead and bring that right leg to the middle of your mat in the front. And we're going to bring that left leg back, parallel to the back of your mat.
Right one forward.
Yeah, right in the middle. And I invite you guys to play with the movement of the hips. So we want to bring the hips around to the side, but play with that and notice what that feels like, how it opens and closes here. And then I want you to bend that front leg, bring the knee over the front ankle. Now play with that movement. It feels constricting if you're not in the right place. Yeah, so if you face your hips towards the long side of the mat, you should feel some more openness there. We're going to go ahead and bring the hands out. Bring your gaze over that front hand. Warrior two. I always think of women in this pose being really strong warrior women because you guys look really good when you do this. And it is a powerful pose. Go ahead and bring the palms up. Inhale, straighten that front leg, bring the hands together. Exhale back to warrior. Again, palms up, inhale. Back to your warrior. Good. Go ahead and roll the shoulders back. Clasp the hands behind you. Now we're going to bring the sternum up really high in the front. The front knee is still bent. Yeah, so you just put your knee right over the ankle. Good. And we're going to bring that chest inside that front knee into a humble warrior. We're going to come all the way down so the top of our head is towards the floor. We're going to stop here and take a breath. And then inhale and bring those hands up higher towards the ceiling, opening the front of the chest. It's a really good chest opener. Really good if you've been spending too many hours on the computer or driving in the car. Go ahead and inhale and come all the way up. Good. Beautifully done. Go ahead and
Should I, is the head kind of in this area or up here?
You are just right because you got your heel. Yeah. So you want your head inside here.
That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's very good form. Yeah. Go ahead and work it out. Hands feet now.
Taking too much off here.
That's okay. We're all ladies. It's all right.
We're just counting the number of layers.
Yeah.
This time of year, right? I'm usually having 3 or 4 layers this time of year. Yeah, so go ahead and bring the left foot towards the front of your mat. Now the right foot's gonna go towards the back, parallel to the back of your mat. And again, I invite you, bend that front knee, bring it up. Bring the hips around to the side, bring them forward. See what it feels like. You're gonna intuitively feel what's right here. So you're gonna feel, oh, that's kind of tight. That doesn't feel good. If you bring your knee forward and then bring the hips to the side, all of a sudden this right here opens up. Oh, that feels good. Okay. And now you're going to bring your weight from the back foot towards the pinky. So you kind of roll it back a little bit. So you're going to feel that open up just a little bit more here. Go ahead and bring the hands up. Look at over that shoulder. Nice, strong pose. Good job. Bring the palms up. Inhale, straighten that front knee. Gaze overhead. Exhale back down. Once again, palms up. Inhale. Exhale down. And we're going to stay here. Make sure that knee is right over the ankle and not starting to come into the right, because that tends to happen. And we're going to bring our hands behind us. We're going to roll those shoulders open, bring that chest forward. Sending the chest out and coming forward inside that knee into a humble warrior. Once you get here, take a moment to breathe, drop the top of the head so it faces the floor. Breathe again, bring the hands up, opening the shoulders, opening the chest. Great, inhale and come up. Beautiful done. That's great. Then go ahead and walk it out. Bring those knees nice and wide. You walk it out. We're going to bring the heels out to the side of the mat here with the toes pointed out at a 45-degree angle. And keeping the pelvis tucked under. This is hard because we want to curve forward. We're going to keep the pelvis tucked under. We're going to keep the shoulders back. And we're going to very slowly begin to bring the knees out over the toes. Into goddess. Play with this a little bit. Work back and forth. See what that feels like. Create some space in the hips. Good. Yeah, that's good. If you can come up in the lower your feet like Shelby's doing, it's hard to do. Go ahead and bring the knees out just a little further, as far as you can. When you start to do this, that's where you want to stop. Keep it nice and tall. Then we're going to bring the hands up to shoulder height. God is good. So our legs are starting to talk to us. Yeah. Go ahead and inhale. Straighten the legs, bring the hands up together. Bring your knees up. Exhale, bring it back to your goddess. Imagine those temples in Thailand where all the women are on the side of the temples, carved in stone, looking like we do today.
I'd like to see that.
I know I would too. Inhale, bring it up towards the center. Touch the hands. Exhale, bring it out. I know, they're so pretty. I don't know if you want to go there. Now roll the shoulders back, so you can bring the spine kind of tall. And see if you can come up onto the ball with the right foot. What does that feel like? Drop it back down. Come up onto the ball with the left foot. Drop it back down. Now roll the shoulders back, close the eyes, get really centered here. Drop yourself down just a little lower so the knees will come up just a bit more. You're really grounded, you're really rooted. See if you can come up on the ball with both feet. And that may not be possible today, that's okay. Some days it is, some days it isn't. Keep the spine tall, keep your gaze in one place. It's okay, wobbling is part of yoga. It's a big part of yoga. I find that if I lower down a little bit, sometimes it helps. Exhale, come back to the heels. Good job. Go ahead and come forward into a wide-legged forward fold. Drop those hands to the mat, drop the head down. Bring the right fingers to the mat under your face. Bring the left hand up to the side. Follow with your gaze all the way up. Big side stretch. Bring it down. Bring the left hand down, right hand up and overhead. And bring it down. Good job, you guys. Who's feeling brave today? Do we want to do a garland pose? Okay, go ahead and pin the feet in a little bit. So they're just below the hips. We're going to drop the hips down. We're going to place the elbows inside the knees. Pushing out. Good job. Look at you guys go. That's awesome.
What is this called?
Garland. And I know when I first started doing yoga years ago, I went to a yoga festival. I was in so much pain doing this, I could not do it. And I'm always amazed that at this point in life, my hips opened up. Who would think? Go ahead and drop those hands down. Extend the hips up to the sky. Nice big forward fold here. Good job, you guys. Inhale, come up. You just completed one of the hardest poses there is in yoga. That's one of the hardest ones because that hip opener is a doozy. Good job. Have any of you guys ever done crow pose?
You mean where you're on your elbows?
Yeah.
When you're.
In my mind.
Yeah, me too. I'm afraid to do
used
it.
to.
I keep saying by the end of this year, I'm gonna master that.
Well, let's
What's it
see.
look like?
I can't do it.
Yes.
So you come down like this, pretty similar to what we were just doing, but the knees come up on the back of the arms.
Oh, and then
And
you
you-
pull them up?
Yeah,
Yes.
and your feet come off the ground. And I'm always afraid of face planting. It's just fear. It's something I need to get over.
Because you are strong enough.
Maybe if there was somebody there to.
Yeah, or a pillow. I know I tried it with a block in front of me. I tried it working with the block under my feet. That works really good because it gives you like 4 inches of a head start. But I'm not there yet. But by January 1st, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Let's go ahead and bring that right foot out in front. Bring the left foot back behind you. Drop the heel back so the toes are forward just a little bit. We're gonna go into a warrior one. Again, I invite you to play with the hips. Notice this time, for this pose, if it's to the side, that feels too tight. You want to bring the hips to the front. The legs are both going to stay straight for a moment. We're going to bring the hands to the heart. Now we're going to lean forward over that front foot and bend that front knee. Nice. Drop the head down so you're looking at the front of your mat. Bring the hands out in front, just at shoulder height. You don't want to do too much here with the knee. Go ahead and deepen the bend in the front knee. Inhale, come back up. Good. Good job. And we'll switch sides. Left foot to the front, right foot to the back. And again, we're going to drop the heel back. The toes are going to be pointing out at a 45-degree angle. And we're going to bring the hands to the chest. Again, play with the hips. See what that feels like. You really begin to notice in your body, you get comfortable with it, what's going to work and what doesn't feel right. Go ahead and bend that front knee. Bring the chest out towards that front leg. Bring the hands out. Grow your warrior one. Drop the head down. Exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. And go ahead and look it up.
Nobody joined us.
No, they didn't. And I've kind of dialed back on my opinion on this. I think I would like to go to Josephine's house and Lydia's house and help them with modifications so that when they do Zoom, we know that everybody's doing it. Yeah, because I don't want to lose them. They're great ladies. They're really constant about coming, but I want to make sure that everybody's not hurting themselves. We'll figure it out.
Are they here today?
No, nobody came today. No, just us turkeys. Okay, go ahead, roll the shoulders back.
Josephine invited us to come to her home whenever we wanted.
I know, she said that to me too. I would love to. I've not been up in Santa Fe for a while, so I would love to do that.
Who
We
is
should
that?
do a field trip.
Good
It's
people.
just-
Maybe we're all go for lunch.
Wouldn't that be fun? Let's do it.
Go out to lunch after?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, I love it, guys.
I'd
It's
be
great.
in it. I'd be going out.
Great. Go ahead and list the toes up. There's so many good places out
I was
there.
gonna say, I know a cute little place.
All right, let's go ahead and bring the hands to the heart. We're gonna stick those hip bones back. Bend the knees, come into your chair pose. Bring the chest forward. Look down, make sure the feet are parallel. Go ahead and bring the chest forward just a little bit more. We're gonna switch to the right. Hook that left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Again, look down, make sure the knees are still straight. They wanna move here. Bring your gaze up and to the right. Inhale back up to the center. Inhale, bring the chest forward. Exhale to the left. And back up to the center. Good job. Go ahead and straighten those legs, bring the hands down into a delicious forward fold. This is one of our poses of surrender. We just give it up. So I'm going to ask you guys to walk your fingers forward a little bit. Walk the feet back a little bit so you're in downward dog. Go ahead and walk out your dog. We haven't been here for a while. Alternate the hips, alternate the knees. Bring some movement to it. Go ahead and push those hips up high towards the ceiling. Bring the head in towards the knees. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Bringing the chest over the hands. Dropping the hips. Exhale. Back to your downward dog. Good. Be careful of the chair behind you. I'm going to ask you to raise your right leg and bring the right knee in towards the right elbow. And we're going to drop that leg down and come into a half pigeon. We haven't done this for about a month. Go ahead and slide that left leg back. Hopefully this feels good. And the more advanced is having the legs straight across the mat. That's okay. You don't have to do that. Just have it at a 45-degree angle. That's still a good stretch. Good modification.
Otherwise you want it out.
Ideally, yeah, but that's more advanced. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. It's fine. This is a big hip opener, even if you're doing it with the heel towards the groin, which is what I'm doing right now. And then we're going to go ahead and come down onto the forearms, dropping the head down into the hands. So this is a pose that they say really brings up a lot of emotions for us because apparently we hold a lot of emotions in our hip. And so when I was going through teacher training, they would have us hold this pose for like 20 minutes. And some of the people in class would start crying. Not because it hurt, although that's probably part of it, but because emotions were coming up. And I think that's really interesting that we don't pay attention to that in our culture, that our body holds emotions in different parts. So if you guys are feeling uptight going into this holiday season, something bothering you, I invite you to come into this half pigeon because it's good for release. Go ahead and come back up onto your hands. We're going to tuck the left toes under, bring the right leg back and come into our downward dog again and walk it out. Now we're going to bring the left knee in towards the left elbow, drop that across your mat, slide back on the top of the right foot. And see what that feels like on this side. Is it different? Is one side more open? Is one side more emotional than the other? Just notice the difference. Drop the hips in.
So the toes are not, the toes are extended.
Extended, yeah, so the back toes just here on the top of your foot in the back, yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but my left side is way tighter than my right, I don't know why.
Mine too.
Go ahead and just breathe into it, send it some breath. This is a good example of how we can use yoga to help us in the rest of life, because this is not a comfortable pose. And if you can breathe into that joint, because you have some discomfort there, then when we're around our relatives or whatever during the holidays, it's difficult. You can breathe into it and not react. It's a lesson we can take with us. Go ahead and inhale, come back up to the hips, swing those legs around the foot. Really relax into that pose. You guys have all gotten so much more flexible since I've known you, every single one of you since the beginning. It's really fun for me to watch how everybody's grown. Feels good. Yeah, and we think at this age, oh, we can't, but no, we can. And we do. You know, go ahead and bring the soles of the feet to them. I wouldn't be 21 again for anything.
Oh,
God. Are you kidding?
I wouldn't even be 35 again.
Especially now, I feel so sorry for these kids. They're all looking at their screens all day long. They're not outside. It's, yeah. Go ahead and bring the soles of your feet together. Go ahead and rock in your hips. Get them nice and loose there. Drop the knees down to the side. Grab a hold of the arching foot. Roll the shoulders back. Bring the heart forward. And bring the forehead down towards the feet. Nice, big, delicious stretch. And the groin here. Inhale and come up. Go ahead and send those legs out in front. Bring the toes towards your torso and reach out. See what you can do for a forward fold today. Inhale and come up. I'm going to have us do a fun little half moon on each side, supported half moon. So we're going to make sure your knee is on the mat. We're going to come up under the left knee. We're going to have the right foot extended, left hand right under your shoulder. You don't want it out here. You want it under the shoulder. And we're just going to come up onto that knee, extend the hand out. Raise it all the way up. We're going to stretch ourselves today. And if it feels good for your practice, feel free to raise that extended leg up. So you're just on the knee and the hand. Exhale, bring it down. Come back to a seated position. And go ahead and extend forward into your forward fold again. Inhale and come up. Now we're going to have the right knee on the mat. So you've got a nice padding there. You extend that left leg out, so we're on the big ball of the foot. You're going to come up on the right hand. And again, make sure that hand's under the shoulder. You don't want it out there in front. And reach up. And if it feels good, feel free to raise that leg. Good. Go ahead. Inhale, come back down. Bring the soles of the feet together again. We're going to do another groin opener here. And you're always better in this pose to have your feet out in front rather than try and bring them up here and try and, get some points and your knees are up next to your ears. That's not good. You want to have it so that it feels comfortable so you can push the belly forward, push the chest forward. There's no points for having the heels closer to the groin. Go ahead and inhale, come up just a little bit. Exhale, drop towards the feet. Another good pose of surrender. Go ahead and place the index finger and the thumb around your two big toes. Send those feet out towards the front. Nice big stretch here. Oh, now we really feel it through the lower back. Release, bring your hands up. Be careful of your chair. You don't have a chair to handle. And I want you to bring the chest forward, bring the chin forward, bring the hands out in front, and we're very slowly going to roll down to a supine position. To the second most important position in yoga, which is Savasana. Go ahead and release at the bottom. Place both your hands on your belly. Feel the heat coming out. Drop the lower back into the mat so that there's no space between the spine and the mat. Go ahead and take a big breath in, roll the shoulders back so the chest is open towards the ceiling. You're in a place of receiving here. Let the feet drop open on the sides. And finally, when you're ready, go ahead and release the hands from the belly. Bring them out to the side, to the carpet with the palms up. Let the fingers curl up towards the ceiling. And I invite you to notice if there's any place in your body where you're still trying to expend energy, holding the feet up, holding the back, holding the face. Let it all go. Just release all of it. This is one of the few times in our day when we are encouraged to just not have any effort. Go ahead and release any tension in your jaw that you have. Let the jaw fall open. Let the tongue relax. So this week, our lesson was Asteya, for non-stealing. It's the third yama. And it basically has to do with not coveting what other people have, not being envious or jealous, not taking more than we have coming to us. And I'll read you a little bit from my book about this thing. It can be practiced physically, energetically, mentally, and socially. It's deeper than we might think. Significance. If you lived in yoga, you wouldn't feel a void. Stealing implies a void, leading you to seek externals for satisfaction. You'll never find it there. Effect. Practicing Asteya makes you the richest person in the world because you always feel like you have enough. As the third principle of the yamas, Asteya serves us as a revelation of how we might be thieves, but not in obvious ways. Shoplifting or taking something without permission is the literal form of stealing, but we all steal from nature daily. We take without giving back. Ideally, we would revere what is given to us and not make our lives wasteful. We deliberately serve this world without asking for anything in return. We take and get upset when nature takes things back through natural disasters. We also take animals selfishly without thought or consideration. We steal energy from people when we are self-centered and do not pay attention to where we can be of service. Instead, we think about how we can be served. The moment you shift from greed to contentment, you'll never need to steal again. You'll understand the value of nature and animals. You'll feel complete. Nature will serve you and provide as needed. Reflect on where else you may steal unconsciously. Me, myself, and mine are our enemies. And Gandhi said, "Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed." And some of the affirmations for Asteya are: I respect other people's ideas and accomplishments. I honor what belongs to others. I am satisfied with what I have. I appreciate my abundance. I am whole and complete. I am at peace with myself. At the end of your next exhalation, go ahead and begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bring some life back to your body, and roll over onto one side. When you're ready, go ahead and bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position, either in your chair or on your block with your blankie, whatever feels good today. And bring your hands to heart center and drop the chin. Stop here for just a moment and feel the contentment of just being where you are, having enough. Not needing to be anywhere in the next 5 minutes. And send the thought out to everybody else that hopefully they can have that contentment as well. The light in the spirit in me honors and loves the light in the spirit in the three of you. Thank you so much for coming in today. Namaste.
Namaste.
It's a good week. I know, it's nice to have this much comments around the holidays, isn't it? Because usually it's rush.
Well, that'll be next week.
Will it? Do you have people coming in?
Well, there's gonna be 18 of us for dinner at our cabin in Haines.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like this huge hall.
And are you in charge of it, or does somebody bring some? Oh, goodness.
I mean, people bring stuff, but I mean, we're doing 2 turkeys. And I already did my cranberry sauce and surviving biscuits and stuff.
Yeah.
They'll bring pies. Nancy's daughter is my daughter's best friend.
Oh, cool.
And she and her husband, well, her husband was my daughter's best friend before she met that one. So she introduced them and they got married at the cabin.
How neat.
Yeah,
Wow.
so.
That's such a pretty area to be in over the holidays too.
Yeah, so it's a good, it's like family of choice.
That's always been my family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's like these kids are like, they're like surrogate kids.
Mhm.
And now with Nancy and her husband having moved up here, you know, we get them too, so we get to have 2 sets of real adults.
Wow.
And then, so there's me 7 kids and 11 adults.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But it-
And who are you cooking for? She always cooks for so many people.
Right, I am the cooker and the baker. And not this year on
No?
Thanksgiving and not last year.
No?
I make 2 desserts and I go to a home where there's about 75 people.
Oh, wow.
And
You
it's,
just get to hang out.
it's my daughter's, her 4 aunts put it on.
Oh, nice.
And all their children and grandchildren and great grandchildren. And all,
Oh, that sounds awesome.
well, I
You gotta
kind of
bring
get
pictures.
lost in there, you know, and I don't
75 is
care.
An awful lot of people.
Yeah.
We did that
It
one
is.
year up at the Placitas Winery and it was awful. We just gave it too
Oh,
much.
well, I loved it last year. It was
Yeah. it depends
easy.
on-
I didn't have to do much and they're always very welcoming and they honor me.
Oh,
What can I
that's
say?
Yeah, you know, you get to,
Yeah.
be-
now
you get to be
exactly.
treated well.
Right.
Good.
Yeah. Good. Well, you guys take lots of pictures.
Okay.
and see. How about you, Kelly? You doing?
No plans.
No plans?
Ray Harlow and I will go for a
A
long hike. Street.
Beautiful. Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, they make smoothies.
Yeah, good, healthy smoothies.
He
You
went
got a
and got
ninja.
a ninja at Costco for $150. And he's Mr. Smoothie now. Constantly throw kiwis and apples and celery and carrots. And that's lunch.
Tell him to watch Rich Roll. He's got a podcast on YouTube. Really handsome man. He used to be an ultra marathoner. I don't think he does that anymore, but we always laugh because he throws everything into the blender and drinks it. It's like, oh, that cannot taste good. But he just, whatever, goes into the blender and that's his fuel. It's really fun to see.
I do fruits and coconut water,
Uh-huh.
a dash of agave and a handful of spinach or kale.
Spinach is
That's a
also
good
good.
idea. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a good one.
Good.
Put in fresh ginger, that makes it.
I like
Yeah.
ginger too. Yeah.
I used to put in fresh turmeric and it,
That's so expensive. man.
and it's ridiculous. You gotta get a huge amount. And
You can't use it up before it goes bad. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't do that. I just take turmeric.
I do love having the root though.
I do too.
You do what?
I love having the root, the turmeric root.
It was kind of nice. I liked it.
So I moved all of my herbs inside like 2 weeks ago, so I have cilantro, flat leaf parsley, couple kinds of mint, basil, sage. So far, so good, it's looking okay, but we'll see what happens.
In
I
little
don't know if it's
pots?
gonna make it